a.m. and we'll go straight to the dailies, the splash on the newspapers. Don, take us through.
Yeah, on the Standard that today they are saying talks hit turbulence. That the writing of the final report by Ruto and Raila teams fly into headwinds after the groups clashed over proposals to cut the costs of living, especially fuel related taxes and the house levy, with some Azimio members staging a walkout as the committee took a break from further consultations. That's on page 4. And then we had some major issues. Maybe the teams Raila and Ruto are clashing over. We have Raila. They are saying that I've been silent from commenting on the cost of living crisis facing Kenyans to give time to bipartisan talks outcome. We'll give directions after the talks. And then on the side of Ruto is saying that I salute the courage and the participation of our fellow leaders who have embraced national dialogue and encourage all of us to keep up the noble work of bringing Kenyans together. That one was on the side of the Standard. The state of bipartisan talk, you can see there the cost of living talks deadlock as a committee whose mandate expires on Friday next week disagree on some of the proposals to tackle the cost of living. And then we have the timelines. The worries comes less than a week after the committee concluded its talks and announced that it had reached a consensus on all 5 issues. And then we have seeking advice. Yesterday, the committee adjourned to report writing session for further consultations, including with Treasury CS next Wednesday. Assurance, speaking after the closed door meeting yesterday to co-chairs Kimani Chungwa and Kalonzo Musyoka assured the public that talks are progressing steadily. That's on the Standard. Let's go to the next paper. We have Taifa Leo. Taifa Leo are saying kimeumana tena just about bipartisan talk still. And we have the People's Daily, why it will be hard to host governors. I think on the issue of the hosting of governors, we saw yesterday there was a fresh motion to the Meru County Assembly to impeach Governor Kawira Mwangaza. We'll talk about that later. And then down there they're saying hard road to impeachment. Days after Meru MCS sought to kick out Kawira, they and others are of like mind will find the going tough if new bill proposed by Kiambu Senator is passed into law. That story in page 7. You'll get your copy there and maybe find out what the content is all about. And then we have on top there, Raila will fight B to charge fees for IDs. Yeah, that was yesterday during his meeting with the men of God, Pale Westlands. And then we have on the Star, they're saying security dozy exposes cost of Azimio protests. And then down there, they're saying Kenya could have lost nearly 50 billion shillings between March and July. That's on page 4 and 5 to 5. And then down there we have stalemate. Ruto Raila talks on verge of collapse, still on the bipartisan talks. And we can go to the next. The Daily Nation says Raila move jolts bipartisan talks. And then they say a report writing retreat by members of the National Dialogue Committee ended prematurely yesterday after the opposition side introduced fresh demands, including the scrapping of housing levy, reduction of VAT on petroleum products, and zero rating of basic food items, but the government side refused to budge.
We have had very extensive discussions and deliberations on the issues touching on the cost of living and agreed on a number of things, but we have also found need to make further consultations. That's why we asked for time out to make further consultations, principally with the National Treasury, and we shall be recalling the Cabinet Secretary in charge of the National Treasury to join us when we reconvene next week on Wednesday, by which time we expect also to have a draft report to consider as we settle on the small issues that we are here to agree on.
It is important that we hear from Treasury, and that is where they should help us crack that issue, because at the end of the day, they are the ones who collect the revenue, they are the ones who dispense, of course, service government programs, and so at this time we all know the country is crying out for help.
Well, according to the dailies that you've just gone through, clearly there is a stalemate between the two teams that had gone for these bipartisan talks, that is the opposition team and the government team, the National Dialogue team. And the last time they reiterated that they were on a retreat to write a report after months of negotiations. We saw in the past that the first bipartisan talk that was fronted by the president and Raila, it did not bear any fruit, because the members who were present at the time, people like the MP of Rarieda, the Otiende Amolo, he was on record saying that the bipartisan talks were very unfruitful because the parties on the other side were unwilling to actually engage with them and bring the crucial issues that are majorly affecting Kenyans. So they brought up things that were not really a priority to the Kenyan people, and thereby, having seen that these people were not serious at all, they just wanted to, time cloaking and moving forward without any serious thing being done. So they decided to call it off. So Raila called it off, and then again we have this second bipartisan talks, of which we have seen a lot of progress because it has been televised by the media stations, both digital and mainstream media, whereby we have seen even experts, economic experts, coming on board to give their views on how the economy should be streamlined. We have seen members who were in the IEBC last year come to testify and tell the Kenyans what happened, so that there was a split between the IEBC commissioners. There were 7 in total, but there was a split that led to a stalemate. But then again, Ruto was announced the president. So there are so many things that have happened. We have seen the people from the Lands Commission, people from the department, the government agencies coming to talk to the National Dialogue Committee then, and to tell them the way forward for this country.
Yeah.
And so many government agencies and other interested parties who want to see this bipartisan talk succeed, they came to give their views. And now, as now they are retreating back to write the report, before even today, we have had sentiments from leaders in the ODM party, the opposition, saying that if the cost of living, the issue of the cost of living is not addressed, if the issue of zero rating food items, food supplies is not addressed, if the issue of the cost of fuel is not addressed, if the issue of the IEBC is not addressed, then there is no deal on the table. They will just they will not support it.